Hello everyone, this is Ahmed here from Renewal Consultancy. I'll be introducing the new roles being introduced for JEA. So earlier this team was called as GMA, that is Group Making Assistants, and now they'll be called as JEA, that is Job Execution Assistants. GMA, they were mainly responsible to create WhatsApp groups. That is, whenever they get leads on daily basis, they used to find out all the platforms available and then create groups for all the leads. That can be through WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram, Viber, or else through email. So email they just have to update over there. Then the PAs, whoever are in contact with the leads, will be contacting through email or other platforms which are available. So this was the main role of the GMA, where they used to update the platforms and then create groups in that platform, and PS used to communicate with the leads. In the same case with the existing clients. For the existing clients, they used to update the platforms available and then create groups. Now the roles of GMA, that is group making assistants, has been completely changed. So we are introducing one more person to the team GMA, that is earlier there were two GMA, and from now on there will be three people in this group, and this team will be called as JEA Job Execution Assistants. So I'll just go through all the roles that will be assigned to JEA. Now this is a folder that will be shared with the JEA team. So this folder, it is called as Varal JEA manual. This folder will contain all the files or all the folders, all the data required for JEA to execute their job roles. So now I'll just give an introduction about the JEA. From now on, there will be three people in this team, JEA team. So JEA 1 will be responsible to find out all the platforms, and which the JEA 1 was already doing this, and JEA 2 will create groups for all those leads, which JEA 2 is already being doing that. Now the new JEA who has been introduced, JEA 3, JEA 3 will update all these leads in the CSV sheet. Each PA has got a CSV sheet, that is conversation action capturing sheet. So each PA has got, this is a monitoring sheet for each PA. So the third JEA will be responsible to update all the leads in each PA's CSV sheet. That will be the first role of JEA, that is finding out the platforms, creating the groups, and updating the leads or existing clients in the CSV sheet of PS. Now there are new roles being introduced for JEA. So let me give you the introduction about these new roles. So this folder here in the JEA manual, this training material folder will contain all the data for training purpose. So now let's go to the first one, that is steps to be followed to get invoice submit. This is the one of the folder, and we'll go for the each roles of JEA. The first role will be creating WhatsApp groups for each leads and existing clients, which I already told you. Now the second thing is, this JEA will be getting a notification from Oral through email. There will be an email created to JEA team, and JEA team will be getting an email notification from Oral. Now this email notification will contain the details of the company, jurisdiction, status of the company, that is if the company is good standing or expired or closed. For every company in UAE, the license has to be renewed every year. So if it is already renewed and if it is active, then the status will be good standing. And if it is not renewed for the last year or 2 years back, then it will be showing as expired. So this is the status of the company. Now using these details, what JEA will do is, JEA will collect details from the jurisdiction. So JEA will contact jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is the authority or government authority where the company has been established. So JEA will contact the jurisdiction and get all the details for this company. So what are the details required is, you will get the invoice, that is what is the payment to be made to renew this company, and then what are the steps to renew this company, that is a process, and what are the application forms need to be collected from the jurisdiction to complete the renewal of this company, what are the documents required to complete this renewal, and then what is the status of this company. You can just email them. So we'll go in detail about each step one by one. I'm just giving you the overall view or overall just an introduction for the JEA new rules. Now once you get the invoice or email back from the jurisdiction with all the details, what you will do is JEA will be preparing the quotation. So you will be preparing quotation for each company, and then you'll be submitting it through a form. So this will be submitted to PA, and PA will be handing over this to client. So what happens, this is the first part of the job. That is, you get a notification from overall, you collect all the details from the jurisdiction, and then you prepare a quotation. Now the first job is over. So whenever you get a notification from overall stating that you need to collect these details, you have to collect and prepare a quotation and submit it. So I'll go in detail how you will be getting a notification, how to collect the details, and then how you are going to prepare the quotation. And then what happens is, once this is done, after some time, it can be any time, the client will make a payment for that renewal. That can be after 2 months or even 3 months after you prepare this quotation. So you don't have to worry about anything. You'll be getting a separate notification for that. Now the second part is, you'll be getting another notification from Varal stating that please initiate the job execution. Job execution is nothing but starting the renewal and completing the renewal of the company. So now here, when you get a notification from Varal, what you will be doing is, you will fill all the application forms and the documents required for renewal form. So there are two forms, that is all the application forms. Those application forms which you received from jurisdiction. Earlier, when you send an email to jurisdiction, you'll be getting all the details with the application forms. You'll be filling all those application forms. I'll be explaining in detail how to find this application form, where to find this, and then how to fill this in detail. So you'll be filling all the application form, and there's one more form called documents required for renewal form. This is a form, and you'll be filling all the documents required, whatever the jurisdiction is asking you. For example, jurisdiction is asking you for a passport copy of the shareholder, passport copy of the manager of the company, then you have to just fill in this form that the documents required are passport copy of the shareholder, passport copy of the manager. And then if the application form, filled application form should be submitted, then you can update here saying that the filled application form signed by manager should be submitted. You can update over here. So I'll go in detail how to, where is this form, how to fill this, everything. Now what you will be doing is, once you fill up these application forms, you will be submitting through form. So when you submit that, the PAs, that is personal assistants, will be receiving this, and they'll be sending this to client for client signature. Now once they submit to the client will sign the documents and send it back along with the other documents required, like passport copy or whatever the documents are required. Client will send it back to PS, and PA will be submitting through form, and you will be receiving the form. So once it is done, anyway you will be knowing what is the amount to be paid to jurisdiction. So once the documents are received, all the documents required are received, then you can submit a request to Varal saying that please make this payment, this amount, to the jurisdiction for the renewal purpose. Because for the renewal we have to make a payment to jurisdiction, so you can just request through a form, and then Varal will be making the payment to jurisdiction. So once it is done, once this payment to jurisdiction is done, you can directly submit the documents to jurisdiction. And there are two things while submitting the documents to jurisdiction. In few jurisdiction you can submit through email, that is, you can send an email to them attaching all the documents and application forms, and or else through the portal. There are portal for few jurisdiction where you can log in and upload each document whichever they are asking over there, and you can just submit it over there and make the payment. Because when you request for the payment, you will be uploading the amount in the portal. You will be able to look at that, and you can just submit the payment option, and everything will be done. So we'll go in detail, don't worry. In the initial stage we'll be going in detail about each step, how to submit for each jurisdiction. So each jurisdiction, what are the jurisdiction, and then how to submit the documents. But in few jurisdiction they will ask for the original documents, they will ask for the original signed application forms. So in this case you will not be able to submit this, because you have to courier it to the jurisdiction, or you have to physically go there and submit it over there. In this case Varal will take all the responsibility to submit the documents. You don't have to worry for this. So I'll be giving you details like which are the jurisdiction you can submit it through email, which are the jurisdiction you can submit it through portal, and which are the jurisdiction where you have to submit it physically. So for physical submission, Varal will take care of all those things, and Varal will proceed with the submission and collection of the documents. So the last process will be, once the document is submitted, you will be responsible to collect the end documents. So even while collecting the end documents, in few jurisdiction you get it through email, So you can collect that and submit to Varal. And in few jurisdiction you have to go there manually to collect the end documents. So in this case Varal will take all the responsibility to collect the documents, and in few jurisdiction we can send some courier or arrange for pickup to collect the documents. So you don't have to worry on those which physical presence is required. So Varal will take care of all those things. So this will be the major roles of JEA from now on. So I hope you are clear about the major roles. So I can just go through it once again. That is, whenever you'll be getting, first part is, there are three parts in this. First one is you'll be getting leads. JEA1 will be updating all the platforms. JEA2 will be creating groups. JEA3 will be updating all these leads in the CSC sheet of PA. This is one part of the job. Second part is you'll be getting a notification to collect details from jurisdiction. You will send an email to jurisdiction asking for details. You will collect all the details. You will prepare a quotation and submit it to PA. So this is the second job. And third one is you will be getting another notification for job execution. So here in job execution you have to prepare all the application forms. You have to prepare all the documents required. You have to submit to PA and make sure that PA collect all these details from the client, and then client will be submitting to PA and PA will be submitting it to JEA. So once you receive that, you will be submitting it to jurisdiction, and once you submit to jurisdiction you can collect the end documents. End document is nothing but the renewed certificate or good standing certificate which you'll be getting from the jurisdiction. So in some case, in the submission and collection Varal presence might be required. So in that case Varal will take care of all these process, all the process, that is submission and collection of the documents. So meanwhile you can request to payment to jurisdiction before the submission of the documents. So now we'll go to each action separately. We'll go in detail about how to find the details, where to find the details, how to send the documents.